Greetings. This is the evening of September the 19th, 2023. My name is Brother Leroy Shabazz. I'm an emergency management practitioner in the city of Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm doing a video particularly to send a message to Minister Farrakhan's student, Assistant Minister Ishmael Muhammad. Brother Ishmael repeated twice a mistake about a date relevant to an earthquake that took place that for the Nation of Islam is significant. Let me go straight to the point. For the Nation of Islam, an earthquake that took place on September the 19th, 1985 was very significant. The significance of that earthquake was that 2 days before that, on the 17th of September, the minister had a vision. On the 19th, the vision was brought to the fullness of the minister's attention by the earthquake. It was the earthquake that the Minister Farrakhan says, that brought the fullness of the vision to his attention in reference to him being on the wheel and talking to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and understanding the plans of Reagan and the Reagan administration and war and some things like that. For the sake of brevity, I'm not going to go into details. But what I do want to express to Minister Ishmael is what I did. He made this mistake after Believers meeting in February, and I went and did a video and put it on our website, readyforwhatever.info, readyforwhatever.info. Because if you go to readyforwhatever.info, you'll see a link that says CERT regifted, Community Emergency Response Team regifted, or CERT regifted, because that earthquake, and you can click on that to get to the video, because that earthquake not only brought the memory of the vision to the minister's mind, the reality of that earthquake created a program called CERT. Wasn't called CERT in 1985 when the Mexican government created a program to help people to keep their lives while they're trying to save the lives of others. So they created a program that for specific training for people who are in disasters to be able to save others as well as themselves. So again, what I'm pushing, Minister Ishmael, is cause and effect. As a student in the Nation of Islam, we're taught very specifically what makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquake, and what brings rain, hail, snow, and earthquake. So the fact that the minister's vision was brought to mind was a cause and effect reality, and the fact that you have a CERT team program. I'm an instructor. I'm an Ohio Emergency Management Agency instructor for this program. Matter of fact, brother, I stayed over in 2022 for training in Columbus, Ohio, an emergency management agency training. I stayed over a whole extra day to tell them folks that I was going to start talking to our people about UFOs and things like that. They didn't say, like, brother, get out of here. They said, we understand what you're talking about, Brother Leroy, so do what you got to do. So again, the mistake that Brother Ishmael made is this. Brother Ishmael, in 2017, it was not 2016 that another earthquake took place. It was 2017. And the significance of that is what I want you to understand. The CERT program was moving along since 1985 or whenever it was adopted by the United States government. I came into it in 2010 with a lot of other people when the minister told us to learn emergency management. So in 2017, because I want to be brief, in 2017, what the system did, what the National Incident Management System did, what the FEMA people did, they changed that whole reality of what CERT was capable of doing in the community, and they started making it where it was more controlled by the system. Because before then, I could get the CERT program and do some things and start making arrangements for my community. I could know where supplies was coming from because I had more of a ability to deal with that from a local standpoint. I don't want to go into detail in that, but I just want you to understand, 2017 changed a lot. And if you looked at that video I said at readyforwhatever.info, it will give you some insight to what I'm saying without me being prolonged right now. But the bottom line is that from the 2017 change that took place, And that earthquake really made it set in my mind that there's something important going on. And but there was a lot of changes because the National Incident Management System changed from where the priority was preparedness, and then in 2017, the priority was not preparedness. It was no anymore. It was response. And I looked at that and I started moving and making motions as an emergency management practitioner since then. In 2018, I did a video because I come to find out through sneaking through people's offices and looking in folders and stuff like that, sort of, kind of, that in 2018, this people called the Health Collaborative was lining up to give our people shots. I did a video about that. 2018, I did a video about these folks lining up to give us shots. So let me bring this home because I'm killing so much time with this. I want you to understand that, cut that. Okay, what I want you to understand is that the CERT program is a very important umbilical cord program for the black community. I talk about the fact that black people are going to FEMA camps. I was in on October last month on the 29th and the 30th of August. I was in a supply chain and integrity meeting at the Columbus Emergency Management Agency headquarters, and it was about supply chain realities in a major disaster, power grid failure, something to that effect, or something major. And the reality is, brother, our people are going to FEMA camps. I come home back to Cincinnati and I talk to our people, our own leadership here in the nation, and I say, our people going to FEMA camps. And they're going one ear and out the other. And I hope it doesn't go in your ear and out the other. Because the reality is, even in 2014, as a CERT team program coordinator, we met with the metropolitan housing people. And they said, Brother Leroy, you're right. If the power grid goes out for an extended period of time, we can't keep those people here. We have to get them out of there after 3 or 4 weeks because there's no food. I mean, there's no gas, there's no electric. They got to go somewhere. So where are they going? Plans have been laid for this process. And as a CERT team program coordinator, if we take the basics of CERT, because this is CERT basic training. My training and my is a lot much more than this. And any brother that gets involved in the training, be it just CERT or be it 10,000 Fearless, needs to know how this system works. I'm going to end like this because I'm just so disgusted with what I see. I'll tell you this, there's something called the National Preparedness System. Let's go, let me end like this. The National Preparedness System is a 3-year cycle. Stop! The National Preparedness System, we good? The National Preparedness System is a 3-year cycle. And what the system does is it looks at what's going on in the community, what do we need to do to deal with the disasters in the community, be it flooding, be it hurricane, be it whatever that community deals with. It's a 3-year cycle. How do we prepare for it, deal with it, fund it, what we need? But the reality is, they also look at the reality of what is going on with the black community. What is the potential of the black community rising and doing things? And they'll find funding and throw funding in that cycle to the point where they'll call it happy kindergarten or whatever the hell they'll call it, and it'll go back into, they'll send $1 million in the community, run it through black leadership. The black leadership comes out with some money and say, look what we done, and it's all a big trick. While at the same time, the system is preparing to send us to FEMA camps, to intern us in the community. Now that may sound like, I think some people might not even really worry about that. But again, as a student in the Nation of Islam, my job is to deal with the lost found. Those people that are in long-term renting positions in poor communities, they deserve to be helped. Because I know even in the Nation of Islam, it's a whole bunch of people, when the grid go down, it's a whole bunch of people going to be sitting at their house with their supplies all down in the basement, and they're going to be happy as hell. And they'll just wave at the Negroes getting on the bus to go to FEMA camp. There's some nasty stuff going on. I said a lot. Hopefully, this is not the way I wanted to end this, but because I just don't know what the leadership will do. I just don't know. So anyway, Assalamu alaikum.